The Whispering Pines Hotel had always been a landmark of Colorado's oldest mountain towns, but the locals never spoke its name without lowering their voices. The building rose like a giant wooden tomb overlooking the Treeline, beautiful, but in the same way a funeral portrait is beautiful. Its windows stared out over the landscape with the quiet grief of a place that had seen too many winters, too many tragedies, and far too many ghosts. Ethan Cole arrived just before dusk, his car tires crunching over scattered pine needles as he parked beside the massive stone staircase. He was a travel photographer, known online for capturing abandoned places and haunted legends. Whispering Pines was supposed to be a simple weekend project, a warm-up for a bigger documentary he'd been planning. Old hotel, small town, good lighting. Easy. But the moment he stepped inside the lobby, the warmth from the fireplaces couldn't chase the cold sensation crawling down his spine. The clerk, a thin woman with tired eyes and a stiff smile, glanced at his reservation. Her expression faltered. "You're in room 217. Her tone was careful, controlled, almost rehearsed. Ethan laughed. "Is that the haunted one everyone talks about?" The woman didn't laugh back. She didn't even blink. "Mr. Cole," she whispered, leaning slightly forward, "if you hear anything tonight, anything at all, don't open the door." Her voice cracked on the last word, as if she'd said it too many times before and didn't expect it to matter anymore. Ethan brushed it off as local superstition. He'd heard worse from ghost hunting fanatics online. But when he walked down the hallway to the second floor, the atmosphere shifted so suddenly he stopped in his tracks. The temperature dropped sharply. His breath fogged in front of him. The hallway carpets were older than the rest of the hotel, their floral patterns faded and worn. The portraits lining the walls were older still, sepia-toned photographs of early hotel guests from nearly a century ago. Many faces were blurred with age. Others seemed to stare directly at him. At the end of the hall stood room 217. Its door was cracked open. Not enough to be alarming, just enough to look like someone had left in a hurry. Ethan pushed it open, camera already recording. The room was dim and cold, lit only by the dying rays of sunset slipping through the thin curtains. The air held a strange heaviness, as if the room itself exhaled sadness. The bed was perfectly made, except for the quilt, which seemed to be pressed down at the edge, as though someone had been sitting there only moments before. Ethan set down his bag and walked into the bathroom. That was when the light switched on by itself. The bulb flickered, stabilized. The mirror was fogged, as though someone had just taken a shower in the freezing room. Ethan leaned forward, and then the message appeared, revealed as if written by an invisible finger. "Don't leave me." His heart slammed against his ribs. The letters stayed for only a second before dissolving, leaving the mirror completely clear. That night, Ethan filmed commentary from the bed, trying to laugh off the incident. But at 3:12 a.m., he shot awake. The room was drowning in cold. His breath rose like smoke. Then, someone sat on the bed next to him. The mattress dipped deeply, slowly, like the weight of a full-grown adult easing themselves down. Ethan froze. A faint outline appeared in the dark, just a hint of a woman's silhouette sitting beside him. And then a whisper slid against his ear, soft and broken. "Please don't go." He launched himself off the bed. The silhouette vanished instantly, leaving the mattress still indented as though a body remained. Ethan didn't sleep again until daylight seeped through the window. But he wasn't alone. Not anymore. Because room 217 had chosen him. By morning, Ethan was ready to leave. His nerves were frayed, his thoughts scrambled. But the footage he'd captured was too good, too real, to abandon. He forced himself to stay long enough to record one more walkthrough. He started with the hallway. Silence consumed the entire second floor. No voices, no footsteps. Even the creaking of the old building seemed to hold its breath. Ethan walked slowly, filming everything, until he reached the door of room 217 again. He stepped inside carefully. The air was colder than yesterday, so cold he could see the frost forming along the edges of the wallpaper. Then he saw her. A woman standing at the window, back turned. Hair long and tangled, cascading over a faded white dress. Her form was transparent around the edges, flickering like static. Ethan whispered, "Hello." She didn't move. He took one cautious step forward, and the woman dissolved. Her body collapsed into drifting ash, scattering into the cold air like burnt pages. Ethan stood frozen. His camera trembled in his hands. Near the bed, a section of wallpaper curled outward as if something inside the wall had pushed it open. He approached and peeled it back, revealing a narrow cavity between the beams. Inside was a leather-bound journal, its pages yellowed with age. He began to read. Mary Ann Porter, housekeeping, 1924. The entries were simple at first. Notes about long shifts, stressful guests, the harsh winters. But near the end, the handwriting grew frantic, slanted, nearly illegible. The room speaks. It calls me by name. I hear crying inside the walls. The manager says I'm imagining it, but I know she's in here. If I disappear, it will be because room 217 won't let me leave. Ethan felt the temperature drop further. Then, slam. The hotel room door slammed shut behind him with violent force. The lights flickered wildly. Shadows crawled along the walls, twisting into distorted shapes that moved toward him. Whispers slithered along the ceiling. A woman's voice, broken, desperate. Please don't leave me alone again. The wallpaper began to bulge. A handprint pushed outward from the inside. Then another. Then a face, Mary Ann's face, pressed against the wall from within, her eyes wide with terror, her mouth silently screaming. Ethan stumbled back, dropping the journal. Mary Ann's ghost tore through the wallpaper, dragging her spectral form into the room. Her hands reached toward him, trembling, not violent, but pleading. Begging. I tried to leave, she whispered. But the room kept me. It won't let you go. Ethan ran. He shoved past the ghost, flung open the door, and sprinted down the hallway. The lights exploded overhead in a chain reaction. Every door rattled violently as if the entire floor had awakened in anger. He made it to the lobby. He burst outside into the cold mountain air. He didn't stop running until the hotel was only a dark silhouette behind the trees. He never returned to Whispering Pines. But the footage from room 217 remained online, one of his most viewed videos. And sometimes when viewers play it at night, they hear a woman whisper, "Don't leave me." If you're still here, still breathing, still watching after everything that happened inside room 217, then you've already proven something most people never will. You don't just enjoy horror. You walk into it willingly. You sat in the dark with Ethan. You faced the shadows. You listened to Annabelle's cries. You witnessed a spirit's final goodbye. And if you've made it this far, you're one of us now. But the truth is, room 217 is only one of the many places where the veil between the living and the dead grows thin. There are more haunted hotels, more forgotten tragedies, more spirits that want their stories told. And on this channel, they all eventually find a voice. Before you move on to your next nightmare, do this. Subscribe, not just for support, but so you never miss the next haunting. New stories, new lore, new encounters every week. The ghosts here never sleep. And if you subscribe, neither will your curiosity. Thumbs up like the video. It helps this channel reach more brave souls like you. Every like is another whisper added to the growing voice of this haunted community. Speech balloon comment below. Tell me, would you dare spend a night alone in room 217? Do you believe Annabelle found peace? Or do you think she's still wandering the halls? Your comments turn these stories into conversations. And trust me, I read every single one. Outbox Strays, share this video with someone who loves the thrill of the unknown. But be careful. Not everyone handles late-night hauntings as well as you do. Some doors, once opened, can't be closed again. And if you want to go even deeper, if you want more cursed rooms, more spirits with unfinished business, more stories that make you question every sound in your house, then explore the other videos on this channel. Each one is another step down the staircase into the dark. Each one takes you closer to the truth that most people fear. Some places remember us. Some spirits follow us. And some stories never really end. Thank you for watching, brave soul. Until the next nightmare, stay curious, stay aware, and whatever you do, don't look behind you. Candle